everyone, my name is Molly and today I am here to bring you my July wrap-up video. Now, July was a successful reading month for me. I went on vacation and got a lot of reading done then, and then just dedicated this month to reading because I know next month I'm not going to read too much, except for Booktubeathon. But other than that, I'm not going to be reading that much. So I was like, you know what, you're going to read a bunch of books. I have read a total of 14 books this month. So that's a new record for me. I'm pretty proud of myself. Yeah. Again, I went on vacation and I read 7 books that week alone. So that's like a book a day, which I'm proud of. But so let's jump in and get started. The first book I read was Angel Fall by Susan E., which is the first book in the Penguin and End of Days trilogy, and I enjoyed it immensely. I loved it. I will be doing a book talk on the first and second book, and I haven't read the third book. But Angel Fall, I read it I finished it at 11 o'clock on June 30th, so I mean, you know, my video was already up and I didn't feel like adding it, so I'm like, you know what, it's just going in the July wrap up. So I read Angel Fall and then I read World After, which I was pretty proud of, and I'm reading End of Days now. I don't know when I'll finish it because I keep jumping to other books and then jumping back to End of Days. I'm at the part where, if you haven't read it, spoilers, she's in hell, like she got taken down like through the memories into hell, and I'm just not loving it because she's not with Raph, and it's bothering me. So that's why I keep like jumping in and out of the story. But so I read the first 2 in that series, and then I read Paper Towns by John Green. Now you're probably like, Molly, why haven't you read it before? Well, I have read it before. I reread it, but I reread it front to back. I reread the whole book, so I'm counting it because it's getting counted. So I reread Paper Towns in preparation for the movie, and I will be doing a movie discussion about that soon. I had to read it before the movie came out because I didn't remember little details. Next book I read was White Hot Kiss by Jennifer L. Armentrout, and if you want to learn more about this, I talk about it in my BookCon book haul, so I will link that down below if you want to check that out. But this is just, it's amazing. It's the first book in Jennifer Armentrout's Dark Elements trilogy. I think it's a trilogy. Yeah, it's a trilogy. And the third book came out a few days ago, and I've read it. Oh, it was amazing! I love this trilogy. It has to be my favorite Jennifer Armentrout writing. Oh, it's amazing. The storyline, the characters, it's just wonderful. So if you haven't read this, don't be misguided by the cover. Just go pick it up and read it. It's amazing, and it's so great. It's so great. So I read this, and then after I finished White Hot Kiss, the same day I picked up We Were Liars by E. Lockhart. Very short, quick read. Finished it at like 11 o'clock at night. I finished this pretty quickly, even though it is short, but there's a lot to take in. And I feel like because you keep stopping and you're like, what the heck is going on? What is happening right now? So yes, I did read We Were Liars, and book haul, including this book and a few others that I've read, is to come. So stay tuned for the synopsis if this seems interesting. And I filmed a book talk for this. I'm almost done editing it, and then that will be up soon too. Next book I read, I've been meaning to get to for a while, and I finally got to it, and that was Shatter Me by Tahereh Mafi. I know you're probably like, Molly, that wasn't in your most embarrassing reads, like why haven't you picked it up? Okay, I finally did pick it up. If you follow me on Snapchat, which I post a lot on actually, I pretty much told you all the books I read this month, but you know what? It's just the people that don't follow me on Snapchat, this is for you. So yes, I read Shatter Me by Tahereh Mafi. I enjoyed it a lot more than I thought I would. The writing is very different from what I'm used to, but I still really enjoyed it. Next book I read was This Summer I Turned Pretty by Jenny Han. I bought this while I was on vacation actually. We stopped at this bookstore because the place we were staying wasn't ready yet, so we went into this town, there was bookstores, so we stopped in the bookstore, got this. I finished Shatter Me driving down there, and then that same day I finished This Summer I Turned Pretty because it's so short and like light and stuff that I was like, you're gonna finish this. Go to finish it by the end of the day. And I did. I don't know how It wasn't my favorite book of all time. I'll get more in depth into it with my book talk, but we'll see when that happens because, you know, I gotta do 14 book talks. Next book I read was The Death Code by Lindsay Cummings. This is the second book in the Murder Complex series. Now, I actually posted a picture on Instagram of me just like, oh, WTF, what the, oh god. It was so, this book just gives me all the feels. It was awesome. I finished it in a day, and it's pretty big. Like, if you look at it, it's like a decent size, and like, it wasn't like I just sat at home reading or anything. This was another one I finished on vacation. It wasn't like I just sat at the house reading the entire time. I did stuff. I did lots of stuff. But you know what? I had to read. So this book was amazing. I love the Murder Complex series. So yeah, if you haven't picked up the Murder Complex by Lindsay Cummings, you have to pick it up. Again, I posted a picture of me with this book on Instagram, and I asked everyone, I was like, does anyone know if this is like a trilogy or something? I need more. This obviously left room for another book. I need to know what happens to these characters. I need more. And Lindsay Cummings actually commented on my photo, and she was like, I don't know, it depends on sales. But it was just very exciting that she actually did comment on the photo. Lindsay Cummings, I love you. Just putting that out there. Your writing is amazing. It's amazing. Next book I picked up was The Isle of the Lost by Melissa De La Cruz, because this was our book club book of the month, and we actually did have our first live show a few days ago, so I will link that down below if you want to check that out. And also, we will be doing a live show tomorrow, because tonight is the Disney Descendants movie, so we will be discussing the book and the movie tomorrow in another live show. So I will put information about that down in the doobly-doo, but this book was... It was interesting. It was interesting. It started out very slow, but then it picked up. It picked up, and I liked it at the end. And for that, I'd probably give it a 4 out of 5 stars. You know what? 3.5 out of 4 stars. Because I did enjoy it. It was a quick, fast read once you got into it. It took me a while to get into it, but once I got into it, I was done with it. So that was nice. Again, this is in my book on book haul if you want to check that. And then the other book I picked up was The Young Elites by Marie Lu, because I was doing a buddy read with my friend Julia. So we decided we were going to read The Young Elites by Marie Lu, and our next read is Throne of Glass by Sarah J. Maas, because neither of us have read that, but we both want to. And it was the same case with this one, but I actually did read this one, and I don't know how I felt about it. I'm getting more in depth into my feelings for it in the book talk. I don't know. It was a good story. It's just not the type of story that I enjoy reading. So again, I don't really know how I felt about this, but if you like Marie Lu's writing, I would definitely go check this out. Next book I picked up was An Ember in the Ashes by Sabaa Tahir, and this book felt like it took me forever to finish. But it only took me a day, but it felt like forever. So, yeah. This was on my top 10 most embarrassing books I haven't read, so check this one off the list, right guys? Totally. So, I did finish it. Again, not really sure how I felt about it. I do know she's writing a second book, so I will pick it up because I did enjoy it enough to want to know what happens to the characters. But again, I just had some problems with the story, and I don't know, all the hype that surrounded it, I don't know if it built up my expectations or something, but I was just let down. Next book I picked up was The Wrath and the Dawn by Renee Ahdieh, and oh, it was so amazing. I love this book. Oh, it is so wonderful. I finished this on the drive home, actually. I decided, you know what, I'm going to finish this book, and I did, and it was just so awesome. The characters, the storyline, it just interested me so much, and oh, I cannot wait for book number 2, The Rose and the Dagger. Why aren't you here yet? I need to know what happens. Do they get together again? Khaled and Scheherazade are just, oh, they are goals. Okay, maybe not. They have lots of problems, but goals. Oh, so amazing. If you haven't picked this one up, you have to pick it up. I loved it. I loved it, loved it, loved it. The next book I picked up was, once I finished The Wrath of the Dawn, I couldn't just sit there because I knew I would fall into a reading slump. So I picked up this book right away, and it was Stone Cold Touch by Jennifer L. Armentrout, the second book in the Dark Elements series. If you don't remember, at the beginning of this video, way back when, I said I read White Hot Kiss, so then I had to pick this one up, Stone Cold Touch. It was interesting. I really hated it in the beginning because there was no Roth, and when we did see Roth, he was annoying, and oh my babies. But then we find out what happened, why everything happened, and it just, oh, the books, this series, it's amazing. If you haven't picked it up, again, I urge you to pick it up strongly. And I had to read this before the last book came out, so I finished this like the day before the last book came out. And, oh god, no, I finished it the day before, so 2 days before, and then I was like, dang it, I should have waited till tomorrow so I could have finished it and then I could have had it in my hands for the next book, because it left on such a freaking cliffhanger. But that's okay, because the next book I read was Every Last Breath by Jennifer L. Armentrout. Okay, can we just discuss the cover change? It doesn't match. Why don't you match? So yeah, as much as I hate to say it, I like the original covers better. They were terrible, but I still liked them better. But yeah, so this doesn't capture what's inside either. And this is short and tinier compared to this one. Look at this. Look at this. Doesn't match on the shelf. Doesn't match. But I read it and it was amazing, and this, I don't know if this is my favorite book out of the trilogy, but I definitely like the storyline. I was Team Roth from the beginning, and it was just nice to see them interact, and I don't want to spoil it. So there were interactions with both of them, but I was Team Roth from the beginning. So if you're Team Roth, I like you. Okay, so yes, this was, oh, it's just so wonderful. Oh, God. Okay. So, these were all the books I read in the month. Yeah, go me. Plus Angel Fallen World after, but you know how it is. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. Let me know what you read in the month of July. Did you have a good reading month? Let me know. Bye guys.